morning to one and all present here. Today's esteemed speakers, Dr. Keshav Sathaye sir, faculty, staff, and all dear students. Today, as we mark the 64th anniversary of one of India's largest broadcasting organizations in studio and transmitter infrastructure, Doordarshan. It was established on 15 September 1959. Doordarshan, which also broadcasts on digital terrestrial transmitters, provides television, radio, online, and mobile service throughout metropolitan and regional India and overseas. Doordarshan, that paved the way for the golden age in Indian television, is an unforgettable part of our lives. Especially in today's language, if I have to put it, the millennial generation and generations before that cannot forget the idea of uniting families in the living room to watch the daily samachar or the evening shows catered to all audiences alike, with its evolving number of TV shows from regional and general entertainment to news and sports. To mention few, Hum Log, mythological soap operas like Mahabharata and Ramayana, where people literally used to put garlands and do aarti in front of TV. Malgudi Days and Byomkesh Bakshi, and how can we forget Shaktiman? Last week itself, it was so nostalgic to see Sathaye sir showing us some of the old advertisements that actually we adored watching in childhood, which were telecasted on TV in between the shows. Going further, I would now request Mr. Kunal Lanzekar sir from BFA to kindly felicitate our today's guest, Dr. Keshav Sathaye sir, with a small memento. Moving forward, before we begin our lecture, let me give you an introduction about our today's speaker. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Keshav Sathaye sir, who is a senior media expert with more than 4 decades of rich experience in TV, radio, and digital media. He earned his master's in communication and journalism and further carried out his doctoral research in communication science on television media management at University of Pune in 2002. Before joining Doordarshan, he worked for an advertising sector for a year, and in 1981, he began his media career with Doordarshan Mumbai and obtained an extensive experience in TV production and management. He has produced over 700 television programs in his practicing media profession and has worked for 22 years as a producer for educational TV for Government of Maharashtra. He has got advanced training in educational TV production by Asian Institute of Broadcasting Development, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in the year 1988. He has also produced and directed TV commercials, radio jingles, and TV series for a regional and national network. He has compared several TV shows and also performed as a newsreader for All India Radio Pune. He is regularly invited by various channels in students' counseling programs as an expert in the area of TV production, presentation management, and journalism. Since 1990, he has been involved in teaching the students of mass communication in various universities of Maharashtra in TV production, journalism, and media management. He has written many articles on media-related issues and specifically on broadcast journalism for the Times of India. Some of his research articles have been published by International Journal, Commonwealth Broadcaster, London, United Kingdom. He has written 2 books on TV journalism and mass media. His book in English is titled Broadcast Journalism and Digital Media, has been published by Diamond Publications, Pune. His book in Marathi, Television आणि Prasar Madhyame, has been brought out by Pratik Prakashan. His latest book, Bhinleli Manse, on the various global personalities, has been fondly received by the readers, and within a couple of years, I think second edition is also in process and it's already published. He regularly contributes for Daily Sakal, Maharashtra Times, Daily Kesari on various issues pertaining to mass media, then education, literature, and current affairs. He has been participating in TV news channels current affairs program as a political and communication analyst. He is a research guide of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth in the subject of media and communication. He also held a position of founder director at Maharshi Karve Stri Shikshan Sanstha Media School, SMART, for 4 years. He is recipient of many awards like late Sudha Atre Award for scoring highest marks in advertising, the award for children educational film in the National Children Film Competition in 1998, Pillar of the Hindustani Society TACCI for outstanding contribution in media education in India. Presently, he is associated with Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth as the head of the Department Mass Communication and Journalism and as a research guide. I would now like to invite Dr. Keshav Sathaye sir to kindly grace the dais and share his valuable knowledge with us today on the topic Journey of Doordarshan, Opportunities and Challenges.
इतिहास का मैं आईना हूं।
ये तो आपको मालूम ही है कि मेजर गगारिन पहले आदमी हैं जो अंतरिक्ष की यात्रा पर गए।
First main kings of Romania.
तहजीब का रंग सुनहरा
वो आई थी।
गंगा जमुना मेरी आंखें, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा। मैं कल भी था, मैं आज भी हूं, मैं नवयुग का अंदाज भी हूं।
ये जो है जिंदगी,
बस राम जी उन लोगों में से हैं जो कुछ न होते हुए भी अपने आप को बहुत कुछ समझते हैं।
बड़े शहर की एक गली में बसा हुआ है नुक्कड़,
सारी दुनिया का घर मुझ में, इस मिट्टी का आदर मुझ में। मैं देशभक्त भी गहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं। मैं बेटी की मुस्कान में हूं, मैं नारी के सम्मान में हूं, विज्ञान में और किसान में हूं, हर वीर में और जवान में हूं, मैं सीमाओं का पहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं।
नए तेवर,
नए कलेवर,
नई धार
और नई रफ्तार के साथ
डीडी न्यूज पर
आप देख रहे हैं डीडी नेशनल, नए भारत का नया दूरदर्शन।
वास्को द गामा, इंडिया बहुत ही प्रॉस्परस है, उनके साथ ट्रेड करो।
बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में
Best friend forever, best friend forever. जय जूनियर हो। सुरों का एकलव्य, सुरों का एकलव्य। सरपंच, कॉर्पोरेट सरपंच.
अब चांद पे पांव जमाना है, सूरज से आंख मिलाना है, एक नया सवेरा लाना है, संकल्प नया दोहराना है. न ठहरा था न ठहरा हूं, न ठहरा था न ठहरा हूं. मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा हूं, मैं नए भारत का चेहरा.
Programs, though it is coming frequently on Doordarshan, but it is the history of Indian television. But since we are a student of mass communication and television is one of the important topic and subject in our curriculum and syllabus, I think you should be in a position to understand what Indian television is, how it worked, how it evolved, how it incepted, how journey took place, where it is going now. So I want you to look at this entire concept of Doordarshan in a bit academic way. Because watching programs, doing news, doing current affairs, taking interviews, writing scripts, they are the activities. But those activities are meant for doing some developmental thing, some developmental communication. Today is the 15th September 2023. In 1959, Anuja spoke about it in brief. In 1959, the first transmission of Doordarshan took place in New Delhi. It was experimental, completely experimental, because in 1955 or 94, some UNESCO grant we received by the government of India. And there was one commercial exhibition, trade exhibition in Delhi, where some cameras were displayed. And instead of taking those camera back, they kept in Delhi. It became our property. So the government and the officials thought, why not use those cameras? And with some deliberation with experts, technologists, it was decided that let's start some transmission. Because Doordarshan came to us in 1959, but it came in UK and across the world after 1926. 1923, when Doordarshan was invented by John Logie Baird. You might have heard his name. John Logie Baird invented Doordarshan. What is Doordarshan? Doordarshan is an electronic device. In the first day, when the experiment was successful, he could send some signals from one room to another room. Electronic signals from one room to another room. It was just a beginning of such a vast panoramic thing. And eventually then they started doing some small programs. Even they shown some Queen's procession, some industry shots. And in 10, 12 years, in 1935, BBC started. And in between the World War, stopped everything. And eventually after 1945, many countries adopted this medium. And finally it came to India in 1959. So journey of Doordarshan or journey of any television is of 100 years. Because in 1923 it was incepted, today it is a 2023. So when it came to Delhi, we are not in a position how to use it. But various departments in central government thought that this medium should be used for information, education and entertainment. Information, education and entertainment. These are the three mantras on which basis Doordarshan started. Even it was thought that it should be started for children in schools, farmers, to create a civic sense in general public. So small documentaries of 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, they started showing in Delhi. You might be surprised that the pioneer of Doordarshan's programming was one of our greatest humorist writer, Pula Deshpande. Pula Deshpande was there as a producer. And another promising, you might not have heard his name, but I met him, I worked with him. His name is V.G. Mule. He was the engineer behind putting all transmitters in order and making it possible to transmit the signal. He was from Pune, and V.G. Mule and Pula Deshpande, two Marathi people, were the backbone of Doordarshan of India. So we should be proud about it. You know, television is entirely a different domain. Theater, you know, you can act on the stage, you can perform live. In films, you can do shooting and afterwards, after editing, you see the film. But this medium is something different. This is not a drama and this is not a film. This is entirely a different recipe. And preparing this recipe and giving you the best dishes with aroma was a very difficult task. Because today also I have a concern, we have very less people who really understand a television medium as a technique and as a medium of dissemination of information, communication, entertainment. Television directly come to our house. It's our member, household member. We treat him as one of the family. And it directly goes in our hall, in our bedroom. It has so intimate relation with us that we need to look at it in entirely a different perspective. Just I am doing some film type program, showing it on TV, people are watching, clapping, great, TRP is getting, no. It should not happen. It should not happen with any medium. I worked with Doordarshan for 5 years. Even I feel that we could not understand the potential of this medium as a producer, as a creator, as a practitioner. Because it was never taught. When Doordarshan came, what was the selection of the people there? I did my journalism from Ranade. So I had one of the subject, television, at that time also. Television, films. And so it was very easy for my selection as a member of Doordarshan. Most of the people came to Doordarshan from radio. Because the radio is a system concern working under the same Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So they took some of the people from radio to Doordarshan. The second source of appointment in Doordarshan was National School of Drama. You might be knowing that it's a very great institution. It was, because nowadays every shine of every institution is just going down. But National School of Drama was the finest institution in our country. So they took some of the people from that also. So people from National School of Drama, people from radio, and people who did their degree, diploma in mass communication, in television, radio allied subjects were selected and put in for the programming. Mumbai Doordarshan started in 1972, 2nd October 1972. So 51 years have completed. The program which we are seeing on Doordarshan, it is a 51-year-old. What were those programs? The programs were meant for, basically, it was decided that this instrument to be used as a developmental communication instrument. So obviously, educational program for children, program for farmers, program for industrial workers, and program for general public should be produced and telecast. And that used to happen. You may not be knowing those names. Amchi Mati Amchi Mansa was a program, agriculture program, Kamgar Vishya for industrial worker, Arogya Sampada, which was based on health. Jnanadeep was one of the program. I would like to mention that in my lecture because Jnanadeep was a program, it was meant for a very common general public. What was the format of that program? That program was a bit entertaining, bit giving some social thoughts and encouraging people to do some social work. And so Jnanadeep established different mandals across the state. That 10 people's group, and that becomes a member of Jnanadeep, and they were allowed to participate in Doordarshan's program as and when required, as per the requirement of Doordarshan schedule. Try to understand this. This is a very important segment. So, instead of taking people who are renowned, who knows how acting is, who know how to perform, Jnanadeep took people who were very ordinary. Because they were member of that society and they were doing some social work. So Jnanadeep took those people, allowed them to perform in television. We used to laugh at them. When I was working, अरे इन्हें तो acting ही नहीं आता, ये क्या बनाते हैं? तो, but that was the real developmental progress, developmental stage on behalf of Doordarshan. They were allowed to speak, they were allowed to present their thoughts, experiences. Then Jnanadeep also organized different social services like blood donation camp, health camp. So Jnanadeep became so popular that it got an international award in television programming. So we were laughing at that program, but that program was actually, people thought it is meant for the people who are more important for the country. So this is somewhere how to look at a program. We had a very entertaining program. The Phool Kile Hai Gulshan Gulshan, you might have heard that Tabassum used to produce and used to take interviews of different artists. So Phool Kile Hai Gulshan Gulshan was so popular, even filmy artists used to come to Doordarshan, used to contact us, and they used to ask us कि हमारे भी program बनाओ. बहुत बड़े बड़े artists. Because Doordarshan was the only thing which people can see in their houses. छाया गीत तो अभी ही है. सुबह संडे को मॉर्निंग को आते हैं, बहुत अच्छे गाने हम सुनते हैं. Feature film every Sunday and Marathi feature film on every Saturday. So all these 3-4 programs had a maximum TRP. And it is obvious, people who would not like to watch a movie in my house, isn't it? By not spending a rupee, not standing in the queue. So it was a bonanza for the people. And it had a big TRP. So, but I always say, feature films, songs, they are produced by others, right? It's not a Doordarshan production, isn't it? We are just a postman. We are delivering a letters written by somebody for somebody. So this cannot be treated as the strength of Doordarshan. Strength of Doordarshan, and it would be producing your own program, writing your own program, whatever it may be. and giving it to the audience and tried to see it that some changes are taking place. So this culture finally automatically drifted, and then it came that in 1980 to 1990, Doordarshan was having at the top a golden era of Indian television, 1980 to 1990. Because we are supreme and we are the only broadcaster, there was no competition. Whatever you have to see, what we are going to show you. You were a captive audience. So from 80 to 90, 91, we had a supremacy. It doesn't mean that we have not produced good programs. This is the one side. Another side, we produce very good dramas, very good interviews, very good entertainment programs, very good developmental program. Kamaleshwar was one of the officials of Doordarshan who used to produce a program called Parikrama. It was in Hindi. You may see it on YouTube also, some of the episodes. It was based on the issues, problems of the common people, taxi drivers, hawkers. He used to do it live. And when he completes his program, he used to compare his own program. When he completes that program, phones started pouring in our duty room. People used to congratulate him. People used to weep out, cry. So effective type of program. Then we had program for children like Kill Bill. Then we had Pratibha Pratima. Pratibha Pratima, still it is going on Doordarshan. It was based on the personalities in art and culture, interview format, but it was quite popular. It used to come on every Sunday for 1 hour. Then musical program. I had an opportunity to sit in Lata Mangeshkar's room recording her and transmitting her program. So, there are some good programs definitely which we made. Sports program. I had an opportunity to do some live television matches. I remember in 1983, there was a match between us and West Indies. Clive Lyde was captain, you might have heard his name. Vivian Richards was the S batsman. And I was there to cover that match, doing with 4 cameras, only 4. Now we have got more than 25 cameras, some cameras near stump and whatnot. And so it was very challenging to cover entire match with 4 cameras without losing a single shot, without losing a single wicket. So it was a great experience, challenging and exciting too. In between, after the races, after the first inning was over, I had an opportunity to meet Vivian Richards. He was such a giant player. You see sometime how he plays. So I said that I want to shake hand you. She said, okay. Then I took his hand. It was just like a hammer. So I thought that how he must be trolling with the bat. So these are some of the very pleasant moments in my life. Why I am telling you that Doordarshan has worked a lot, covered a lot. The another experience which I would like to narrate here is in 1983, now Modi ji has just done a most significant international event. It was concluded last Sunday. But in 1983, Indira Gandhi, when she was the Prime Minister, we had a very big meet of 107 countries. That was known as non-aligned meet. Alipta Rashtra Parishad. I was there to cover that in Delhi. So it was again a very challenging task because we used to, the team in which I was working was given a task of covering presidents of all countries. They are meeting President of India, having some discussion, and that discussion to be telecast immediately after 4 hours. So I had an opportunity to meet Yasser Arafat, Fidel Castro, taking them from airport to President House, briefing them about what exactly we are going to do, and telecasting that. Even the logo and montage of that program we produced, showing a piece, just like Kabutar, just taking in hands. We went to the old Delhi, did a shooting, edited that, and shown on the TV. And it was very greatly praised all over the world that it was the best coverage ever Indian Doordarshan made. And with pleasure, Prime Minister threw a party to us, a cocktail party, on the last day of the ban, and that also we enjoyed. The point here is, Doordarshan came out with very different types of programming, different types of formats. But, as I was telling you, in 1991, what happened in 1991? Or 2, what happened? Private satellite television came to India. It started with a star. Star, you know, na? Channel. What is star? Satellite television. Star TV. 1981, 1982. So just coming back to, in 1991-92, Star TV started. Satellite television Asia region was its name, and the first competition to Doordarshan. Because that up to that time we were the supreme. But when government allowed outsider to telecast their programs, to transmit their programs, slowly and steadily many channels came. 1991-92, still we were doing good, because they were in infancy, they were just crawling, they were not really ready professionally to do programs. So for 4, 5, 6 years it was quite a fine time. In 1997, when another revolutionary thing happened in Doordarshan's life, and All India Radio's life also, that was the inception of Prasar Bharati, which is one of the topic might be for your study. Prasar Bharati came into existence on 23rd November 1997. Why it came? It was decided that Doordarshan and All India Radio, being a media and also giving news, should be independent. So they should not be under the control of government. So obviously a corporation was formed named Prasar Bharati, and the whole responsibility and powers were vested on them. Good. Decision was really good. Because autonomy, you need an autonomy. If you want to do a good program, if you want to do some creative work, if you want to put across your thoughts, you must have an independent thinking panel, channel, and you can show it. But it was not happened. Because what they started saying that yes, now you should earn your own income. Previously, salaries would be paid by the government of India and the ministry. And it was used to compensate. And the whole expenses would taken care of the I&B ministry. But after autonomy, they said that you should earn your own income. There is a catch. Because how a producer, how a creative person can do marketing? Is it his or her duty to go out and ask for commercials and advertisements for my program? So it was totally wrong decision. What second era Doordarshan did is to face the competition. They started doing a program of other channels like a musical bonanza, dance, and something like gaudy colors, which produces, which was not in the tune of Doordarshan's style of doing it. So they wanted कि अगर मुझे competition करनी है ना उनके जो boogie woogie जैसे musical competition, but very in a gaudy color, we started producing that program. What happened? We had a very limited resources, very limited money. So our programs were not that great technically. So from private channels, people used to like it. So they used to switch up and go to the other things. So we always say, okay, what is your strength? These programs is not your strength. Your strength is making a very simple program for simple people of this country. Your strength is talk about culture, talk about education, talk about knowledge in most easy way. What happened with educational television? Doordarshan started for educational purpose, and we used to show some educational programs also for standard 5th, 6th and 8th. Slowly they were made backbenchers and they were removed. So there is no education programs from Doordarshan, though we have got Jnana Darshan channel and what not, but it is an entirely different channel. It is not coming on a mainstream. So educational channel was erupted, health programs were erupted, programs on agriculture was erupted. They started a new channel like Kisan. There are so many channels Doordarshan have. There are around, every state has got a regional channel, then they've got international channel, they have got news channel. You are a student of journalism, and nowadays people say that we watch Doordarshan news. Why? Because the news from private channels are rubbish. Right? They are fake. They are not realistic. They are talking something different. And that's why they watch Doordarshan news. Good. But why they watch Doordarshan news? Because it is bad. Not Doordarshan news is best. That's why they are watching. The most disadvantage of Doordarshan news is we hardly cover the latest news. We are in a red tapeism, so we have to confirm it from the ministry, this is that, this is that. We are not allowed to really show the news what actually I am seeing it is happening, but I am not allowed to show it unless I get approval, sanction. And it is put in second, third slot. So automatically it becomes stale because already other channels are showing. So technologically, now they are showing some excerpts from state and correspondent is also coming. Slowly they are improving, but we are also not in a competition as far as news are concerned. But still we are number one because we have reached a nook and corner of this country. We have reached about 98% of the people. So this is huge. And you know there is a separate dish of Doordarshan which you can, it is free of charge, free of cost. And you can see 32, 38, 40 channels of Doordarshan programming. Now I would like to tell you or share with you that how a student like you who want to join Doordarshan as a producer, as a script writer, would be able to join? In principle, yes. But the fact is, from 2009, for last 14 years, there is no new employment in Doordarshan and All India Radio. No new people are employed. Only people are taken on a contract basis of 1 month, 15 days. They are not regular. If I am working only for 1 month or 3 months, I cannot be a professional person unless I have given a chance and opportunity to work for a good period. So human resources, which was a big capital of Doordarshan, is decreasing day by day. Now people are coming just like on a construction site. You call Majur and ask them to put that sand over there and move this. If this type of thing is happening with such a great institution of this country, how we can say, which have been said by Amitabhji, that we are number one, the fact is entirely different. I don't want to give you a negative note. It's a retrospection. It is looking at what actually happening in most rational way. Otherwise तो ठीक है हमारा दूरदर्शन बड़ा है, ये कहना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन जब हम देखते हैं क्या क्या चल रहा है, प्रोग्रामिंग कैसा है, कंपटीशन का प्रोग्रामिंग कैसा है, तो it becomes very difficult. So what is the road ahead? What is the road ahead? This is the question I would like to discuss here. Is it all over? No. It is 1,000 crores of investment has been done and they are ready to give more investment also. But then what is the solution? What type of solution we are thinking of? The one solution which I find and which I would like to propose, that Doordarshan should be treated as the public service commodity. Basically, we have said that we are a public service, isn't it? We can see that this is a public service organization. But then if I am a public service, then I should be given funds to do public service. If in 24 hours in different 20 channels, if I got some slots for commercial, give some commercials of government to Doordarshan and pay them. So we can earn lots of revenue. We need not go door to door and ask for advertisement and money. I can instead concentrate on my programming. So the first foremost thing is that autonomy, so-called autonomy, to be scrapped. Because if you say we are autonomous, have you seen anything that shows that Doordarshan is autonomous? It is not under government control. It is 100%. So where is autonomy? I remember a story when Indira Gandhi was shot. It was on 31st October 1984. I was working in Mumbai Doordarshan and I went there early, I don't know why. 9:30 I was in newsroom and I was seeing the creed. And one creed I saw, that was she was shot at. So by that time it spread all over the TV center. So we gathered and we tried to contact Delhi. Everybody was in confusion because how to say it, no? And what actually the situation is, nobody was knowing. It was a chaos. And so up to the evening it was cleared that she's dead. But the official announcement, I think, took place at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And that too, not by president, but vice president, because president was out of country. President was Jal Singh at that time. And Venkatraman was vice president, and he announced that she is no more. And next 3 days we were showing bhajans because it was a national mourning, and showing a dead body of Indira Gandhi in between. Again bhajan. So it was a combination of a consolation, it was a combination of a grief, and again a strategic position of that time of government. Obviously next time Congress came with a thumping majority because sympathy wave was with her. Every government tried to take media in their hand, because once media is under control, everybody is under your control. And so, if you really want to have Doordarshan or All India Radio to survive, we must see to it as a design. What happened? There are 3-4 major disadvantage, or I can say that 3-4 things which to be improved. The first important thing is that, which we usually do, there is a dearth of research. Research for programming and audience research. We used to have an audience research cell, and we used to gather what audience want, and even we used to have an evaluation of program also for some time. But those things are over now. So unless I know what audience want, or how audience is taking my program, what benefit he or she is getting, how I'm allowed to do a next program. So I don't have any source of what people want, so I do a program which I want, isn't it? Which I like, with my limited perception. You cannot produce a program with limited perception when you are working for a mass media. You are working for lakhs of people, Baba. I like and I produce, it won't happen. You can do a small clip on YouTube, put it on your name. But when you are producing a program for national telecast, national institution, it has to be on the basis of what people want. I don't say that people want anything that you show. No. But you can definitely moderate their demands. You can think about their demand. You should reach out to the people. Unless you reach out to the people, how you are going to really do a justice to this medium? It is very costly. I remember when we used to do program, we do it in seconds. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute. 1 minute raw stock. Used to cost much. Now it is video, you can do it. Kitne shot liye? Try to remember how many shots you are taking. For 5 minutes program, you are shooting for 40 minutes, 1 hour. And you sit before editing table, going through it, and not finally deciding what to take. Because you are again in a confusion. I think we must have that discipline of selecting a shooting instead of selecting a shot which I have done. This strategy, this character, this attribute has to be developed in all of us. Content of the program, scripting of the program, what type of script I should write, how the treatment to be given, how it is interesting, how it explore various ideas. Is there any hook? Is there any change? Is there any curiosity? Is there any suspense? Is there a string of pleasures in the program? You must think of it. Don't just write because I have been asked to write. Your every writing, your every shot, your every production, your every creative piece has to be really creative. And on the occasion of this anniversary of Doordarshan, I think it should imbibe in you that if I am a student of mass media and if I want to produce something for television or for any channel, my every line, my every shot, my every thought my every progress, my every stream, my every flow has to be justified. Otherwise, it's okay. 30 मिनट के इंटरव्यूज किए हमने किए ना अभी जो इंटरव्यू किए पिछले साल what we did that Nutan did what was the title Manthan many people from Manthan are there. Now I give you an exercise. Go through the production which you have made and find out the faults. Clapping is very easy. क्या अच्छे है इससे कितना अच्छा हो सकता है एक फ्रेम में आप दिखते हैं सिर्फ एक फ्रेम सो वो डिटेलिंग आपने किया है क्या मैंने स्क्रिप्ट अच्छा लिखा है क्या मैंने जो सवाल लिखे वो परफेक्ट है क्या प्रिसाइज है क्या पॉइंटेड है क्या वेदर दिस क्वेश्चंस आर टेकिंग अस अहेड एंड ब्रिंगिंग अ सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज देयर एनी लिंक otherwise what's happened unless you have a link it cannot become a program if somebody usually we used to say in Pratibha I used to criticize that program because we used to call very veteran writer like V.Va. Shirwadkar and Mangesh Padgavkar and Shankar Vaidya, Shantabai Shelke, Shankar Patil, Jain Naralikar. Jain Naralikar was in one of the programs. So many stalwarts. Or we used to say, oh, great program kila na? Because people used to like, because people have never seen those people. So they used to like what they say. They used to like their answers. They used to enjoy their experiences, anecdotes. But what is my role as a producer? I just call him, shot him, interviewed him and showed it on TV. Whether I did a proper designing of the program. Used to what people used to say, किसी को बुलाना है, आपको interview लेना है, you prepare a question, मैं देखूंगा, as a producer मैंने तो कुछ दिया है ना, तो थोड़ा बहुत ये करूंगा, बहुत ऐसा नहीं होता ना. Even an interview program is most important. Most important. You know the interview program in American television, she earned in crores. What is her name? Winfrey. Have you seen her telecast? Oprah Winfrey. How totally involvement. Am I expecting much from you? I think no. What I am expecting, try your potentials. Try to give best out of it in every exercise, in every assignment, in every tutorial. This is for we are coming here, no? If you do it, I think you would come in flying colors. I keep 10 minutes for question answer. Please come out with your questions. We are celebrating it, yes. I'm proud that I was working with Doordarshan. With all negative points, still Doordarshan has got a great potential, no doubt about it. But when you go to the doctor, you must know what are the elements you have. You must treat it. And that's what the presentation was. Please come out with any question you have.
The new ways, जैसे प्राइवेट वाले करते हैं, like the दूरदर्शन अभी है कि अभी भी है. You said कि उसके पास potential है. It has got the potential. So maybe we दूरदर्शन can apply the today's methods जो आज के channels कर रहे हैं. So any opinions on that?
Yes, if Doordarshan want to survive, they should go hand in hand with the competitor channel. And to going hand in hand with competitor channels, the common parameters should be maintained. What are the common parameters of the good program? That it must have highly skilled script, highly skilled content writers, highly skilled artists, technologically great. it is required for Doordarshan also. But it is not happening. Why not happening? Because there is a dearth of budget. There is a dearth of budget. Programs are not made as Star or Zee or Sony. And Sony पे आप प्रोग्राम देखते तो आप ग्लिटरिंग वो कैमरा टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत कॉस्टली है, हमारे पास इतने नहीं है. बट आई ऑलवेज से अगर मोबाइल पे भी अगर मैं अच्छी स्टोरी बनाता हूँ ना, मोबाइल है मेरे पास सिर्फ, इफ आई गॉट अ गुड स्टोरी, I think it will surpass all technologically great stories. You must have a good content. So with the limited resources, though Doordarshan has come out with the latest transmitters, latest transponders, latest communication system, even the cameras are also not that great but at par. So content and technology we are not, but still, as you said, you go for a private channels instead of a Doordarshan. How many of you watching Doordarshan programs or remember that you have watched Doordarshan program for at least half an hour in last 1 month? Please raise hand.
या तो फंड्स आए या तो फिर मे बी हायर द पीपल, ऐसे क्रिएटिव लोग हायर करें एंड मे बी इंसेंटिवाइज द वर्क.
I am watching program, not regularly but frequently, because if I want to speak about it, I must watch it. Otherwise, I have no right to talk about it. You are partially correct that Doordarshan come out at least for some programs in 24 hours programming, because every channel has got a different audience, a captive audience. So for at least some programs, they should come out with very exclusive type of things, including equipments and technology, and produce the programs, but they are not doing it. I already said that the income of Doordarshan is not that much that they can take hire people of a high professional quality. And that's why for 14 years, they have not given recruitment, employment to anybody. So I am telling that raise the funds of Doordarshan, pump out money to Doordarshan, ask them to give a good people. Definitely we are going to come out. But this pathetic situation should be changed if a sensitive government in center should really reconsider surviving, allowing to revive Doordarshan in future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. 2-3 points that sir mentioned. Sir, I think Doordarshan has become like the northeast of television media. So, means it has a lot of potential, but people are neglecting it for, I don't know, whatever is the reason. Like sir mentioned, there is a lot of potential in it, but let's hope one day Doordarshan comes into the same, or it comes on same level. Another thing is, I think what he said is the vibrant nature of the private channels nowadays and the speed and everything. I think it is leading to what today the private news channels are. And Doordarshan is still has its own pace, has its own speed, and it still goes in that direction. Also, I think one or two things that I would like to mention, that today Doordarshan still holds the exclusivity of having the Prime Minister's first interview after the budget session. And mind it well, no other private channel has this exclusivity. And second thing is the parade and many of such programs which are telecasted only on Doordarshan first. And even after talking to some of the journalists, not just from your generation, from older generation also, they say that if we want to authenticate any information, we definitely see if Doordarshan has telecasted or not. So I think this exclusivity we cannot take away from Doordarshan, even today also. So, and under Digital India, sir, hopefully this government will take care of Doordarshan also in coming days. So, thank you, sir. It was a very interesting and informative lecture. And thank you for giving your valuable inputs, knowledge. We are very grateful for the time and efforts you have put in preparing and delivering this informative session. Thank you once again, sir, for your time. Thank you.